Racist Dallas commissioner refuses to honor murdered Dallas cops on anniversary. Here's what he did instead. The Horrible Person of the Day award goes to Dallas County Commissioner John Wiley Price for disrespecting police across America when he refused to honor Dallas police who were murdered by a crazy Black Lives Matter enthusiast who opened fire on cops. Price basically said the cops brought it on themselves. Here are the men who died for no reason while serving their city and their country, doing one of the hardest jobs in America. The deceased officers were veterans and fathers, from top left clockwise, Brent Thompson, Patrick Zamaripa, Michael Krall, Lorne Orens and Michael J. Smith. Price should be removed from his job and shunned by the public for his lame views on police and thinking that any cop has ever wanted to be shot at, let alone murdered. You cannot blame police every time some crazy person goes on a shooting rampage. No one ever asks for that to happen and no one ever wants that to happen. On the contrary, if those particular officers were known to beat people for no reason, or rape women behind dumpsters, or do horrible things to the public, then I would agree with John Wiley Price. Anyone who acts like that, regardless of their job, should be dealt with one way or another. However, it does not seem like these particular officers who were shot to death were anything like that. Anyone who takes the job of police officer is granted immediate respect and admiration. They deal with the worst of the worst people in the world and police are all amazing people for what they do, except that fat cop who let himself go after passing the test. Get back in shape, you whale. Blue Lives Matter reported. Dallas County Commissioner John Wiley Price voted to oppose a resolution to honor murdered police officers, blaming police officers for the assassinations. The Wednesday vote was supposed to be largely ceremonial, but gained unexpected opposition as Commissioner John Wiley Price argued that law enforcement should not be honored, according to Fox 4. I think it's interesting in this country how you again try to frame the narrative with regards to other people who've lost their life at the hands of law enforcement, Price said. No life is more important than any other life. Price said that unjust police violence was the cause of the terrorist attacks against law enforcement, according to Fox 4. Sheriff Lupe Valdez argued that all officers killed in the line of duty deserved to be honored. It's not that they died, because everybody dies. It's how they died, she said. We need to continue as people in blue to make a difference so that both sides, both of us hurt when somebody dies. It's not officers go home safely, it's let's all go home safely. Since being the only commissioner to vote against the resolution, John Wiley Price has refused to back down from his statements. Until we start to recognize all life, then no life is more important than any other life, Price said. Others have been voicing their disagreement with Price. It was to honor these fallen, so I think he does owe the law enforcement community an apology. There's a time and a place for everything, Dallas Police Association President Mike Motta told Fox 4. Any other day of the week, I would agree with him. But on a day where we lost 5 officers who were murdered on the streets in the city of Dallas from hateful rhetoric, whether it's from the police side of the community or the community to the police, is not the day that you do it. In April, prosecutors unsuccessfully prosecuted John Wiley Price, accusing him of using his public office to illegally take over $1 million. The jury deadlocked in the decision on 4 of the charges. Afterwards, prosecutors dropped the case. Unjust police violence is fixed by determining who is doing wrong and removing them from their job. If a police officer is constantly doing things wrong, making the force look abusive, and taking advantage of her power for personal gains or reasons, then that person does not need to be a police officer anymore. Unjust police violence also needs to be looked at from open eyes with a look from every perspective. Was the violence really needed, or no? If no, then how does one control a situation with a different tactics such as a de-escalation strategy? If violence has occurred, then retrain officers with new techniques so that violence is the last answer. Now look at it from the other point of view. Was the police violence a result of a suspect bringing violence to the situation, in which case violence was met with violence? was a suspect failing to comply to direct police orders and causing a ridiculous scene, which we see far too often on crime videos. An officer asks someone nicely to do something, probably with the intent on issuing a warning or low-grade ticket, and the suspect blows things way out of proportion and goes all crazy. At that point the officer needs to toss the cuffs on the suspect to calm them down because talking rationally is no longer an option. The best solution is for police officers to review dashcam videos and discuss ways to handle situations in an even better way. Constant learning and development training go a long way in a job that hard. John Wiley Price and his blatant disrespect for police push community thoughts and feelings in the wrong direction. When Price starts talking, indirectly, about how police deserve to be killed or they brought this on themselves, then he's not addressing the problem. He's pushing relations in the wrong direction, and that's the problem. Price could have used this as a teachable moment that focused on bringing communities together instead of splitting them. Shame on John Wiley Price. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe Breaking News 365 channel. Goodbye and see you again.